My name is Stephanie Reynolds, and this is my major presentation on virtual dissection. During this presentation, we'll discuss the differences between traditional dissection and virtual dissection, the benefits of virtual dissection, along with assessment. What is dissection? Dissection is the process of disassembling something to learn about the internal structure and function. There are two types of dissection. The first type of dissection is traditional dissection. This is the process of actually dissecting a specimen, or known as a wet lab. The second type of dissection is virtual dissection. This is using a computer program to simulate the process of dissection. Let's talk a little about traditional dissection. With traditional dissection, you have to buy kits, and these kits are for each student or pair of students, and they can be ordered at Carolina. The price for 30 students to dissect 15 frogs cost around $150, and these kits do not include dissecting instruments, aprons, gloves, or safety goggles. Instructional time to prepare students for a dissection can expand over 2 days. Managing a classroom to stay on task can be difficult when full attention cannot be given to every student. Like previously stated, dissection kits can be bought at carolina.com, and this is a great website for resources for science and math teachers. And I've included a screenshot of the order page for the frog dissection kit, and you can see that without taxes and everything, it runs $147. And also below the picture, I have added the link to the website. Okay, now we'll talk a little about virtual dissection. With virtual dissection, all you need to do is purchase a CD or a program. And I found at scienceclass.com it was the cheapest place to get it. They run from $50 to $100, depending on which specimen you would like to purchase. And all the materials needed are included. You just have to install on your computers. Instructional time for students is next to nothing. They will follow on-screen instructions to complete the virtual dissection. And this will allow for better classroom management, and you can help more students this way. And here is a screenshot of scienceclass.com. This is a great place to order. Okay, so some of the benefits with using the virtual dissection technology in the classroom include saving time and better classroom management, save money, and you're able to utilize the first benefit, saving classroom time and better management. During a wet lab or traditional dissection lab, instructional time can be anywhere from 2 to 4 days. And this is a long time for one lab. In managing a classroom of high school kids eager to dissect their specimen can be very overwhelming, and this will also take away from the value of the lab. Now, with a virtual dissection lab, instructional time can be as short as 1 day. And this allows for you to have better classroom management, and students will just. And here I've shown you the difference between a virtual lab lesson plan and a traditional lab. The second benefit, which is saving money. With a virtual lab, you can buy a CD-ROM, and the max cost for that is around $100, and these are Dissection Work CDs, which are found at classroom.com, and you're able to load all of this to your computers in the school, and you can also get a download for tablets. And this allows for multiple classes to use the same software, and each student is able to work independently at their own pace. And with a wet lab, you will have to buy about 15 frogs, and that's for a class of 30. And this costs around $150. And this is a one-time use, and you have to purchase multiple sets for each classroom. And along with that, you have to also purchase dissection instruments and safety wear. The total savings over a 5-year period. And here I've just pulled a chart from digitalfrog.com, and I really like this chart. And our final benefit, which is utilizing school resources. This allows for teachers to utilize the school computers that are already there, and they don't have to buy extra materials besides the program. And since science labs usually do not use computers in high school, this helps prepare them for college, since most college labs require computer use. And this also helps incorporate technology into science class, which is usually not a tradition, and I feel that it's really an innovative way to move forward. And lastly, our last point, which is assessment, and virtual dissection labs can yield 2 types of assessment. They are summative and formative. And also the assessment, which is summative, and the goal of summative assessment is to evaluate students' learning at the end of an instructional unit by comparing it against benchmarks. And examples of summative assessment in science are portfolios of students' work, and this could be anything from lab reports to assignments that go along with labs. The second type of assessment could be a test over unit work, and like with virtual dissection, this could be a test over the structure and functions of any type of specimen. The next type of example is a final project, and this final project could be similar to something like we're doing now, different ways to incorporate technology in the science classroom, anything like that. The last second time of assessment, which is formative, and the goal of a formative assessment is to monitor students' learning, to provide ongoing feedback that can be used by instructors to improve their teaching and by students to improve learning. More specifically, help students identify their strengths and weaknesses and target areas that need work. And this also helps faculty recognize where students are struggling and address problems immediately. Examples of formative assessment can include anything from completing a virtual dissection lab with a worksheet, or even answering questions about labs, and finally taking a quiz over. And here I've added the next generation science standards, and with these standards I made on this page you have the Common Core standards, and as you can see, the Common Core standards do a lot with science, and at the end of each Common Core standards it has highlighted which. And this is just my final thoughts. I have learned a great deal about the world of virtual dissection, and I'm very excited to incorporate it in my classroom. Although I feel technology is a great substitution for certain labs, when time, money, and effectiveness are at stake, though it should not completely replace the value of wet labs in science, just to avoid the. And right here is just a copy of my. And this is my list of